welcome to Horror Cult Trash Over, the show that discusses all the masterpieces and trash to pieces of genre cinema. I'm Chris.
I'm Gary.
And today we're discussing a film that has been on my watch list for so many years. I've been dying to watch this film. I knew it would be a great podcast choice.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'm right. It's got everyone in it.
Yes.
And I think this is why it was on my watch list for so long, because it has so many of my favourite B-movie actors in it. It's The Demolitionist.
Yes. From 1995.
Yes.
1995. Weird time to still be making Robocop rip-offs.
Yeah. It's been, 7, 8 years removed from Robocop?
Uh-huh. So did you say Robocock?
No, I did not say Robocop.
Like you did. So this was a film you brought me for my birthday, or was it Christmas?
I think it was Christmas.
So I'd never heard of this before you brought me it. And I'm disappointed by that because I wish I watched it sooner.
Yeah. I feel like I may have to explain myself on this one because I've just said how long I've been wanting to watch it and I bought it you as a gift. Me and Gary, as you probably know from listening to the podcast, have very similar tastes and very similar interests. And when it comes to birthdays and Christmases, it's often that we will give each other what we call 75-25% gifts. So that gift was 75% for Gary, because I knew he'd love it, but 25% for me, because I've been dying to watch the film for many years.
Yes.
And it tends to happen, and sometimes we buy each other the same gift. It's happened a couple of times. But yeah, I felt like I had to maybe defend myself a little bit because I didn't sound quite right.
It's a great gift.
Yeah.
Great film though. On the other hand, I don't think this is intentionally good.
Oh, it's stupid as fuck. Yeah, no.
It's shocking because this is written and directed by Robert Kurtzman. Now he's the director of Wishmaster, The Rage, Not Carrie 2. Buried Alive and Deadly Impact, but he's more well known for being as part of the makeup department for From Dusk Till Dawn, Doctor Sleep, The Haunting of Hill House, The Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, Scream, Pulp Fiction, Mud, The Faculty. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. So fairly prolific name within the film industry. And as you said, cast full of genre icons.
Yeah.
This is it's not good, girls.
No.
I mean, there's some good things in here. Like one performance in particular, I believe a certain actress knew what she was doing. But a lot of it, this definitely falls into the trash to pieces of genre cinema.
It does. It's a B movie. That's what it is.
But that's the thing, and that's why sometimes I'm torn to say it's a trash piece because I mean, technically, it is a trash piece, and I don't think it is good. I don't know if this is what they set out to make. I don't know if they wanted it to be funny. But then there's some moments where I'm like, is it intentional?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think the intention is to be, because I don't think having that filmography within special effects and that makeup department, I don't think that necessarily lends itself to directing and writing and such. But there has to be some sort of knowledge there and the kind of the realization that what he wrote, because he also wrote the story.
Yeah.
That knowing that what he wrote was number one, a Robocop ripoff, and number two, a quintessential B movie.
Yeah.
So it keeps within those boundaries of what a B movie should be. It doesn't try to be more than it is. There are moments that are a bit baffling.
Yeah.
So I think they're your trash to piece moments. But I think it knows what it is.
Yeah. It's co-written by Brian DeMusio and Dino Vindeni. They wrote The Way We Weren't, Moonbase, Voodoo, Little Witches, and more. And also written by Anne Kurtzman, who didn't write anything else, but she was the producer of My First Mister and The Rage, Jingle All the Way. She was the Turbo Man suit coordinator.
Nice.
And she worked on VFX for, though she's the project coordinator, for Hostel, Devil's Rejects, The Spirit, Boogeyman 3, and Undead or Alive, A Zombie.
Yeah.
So, I assume she's some sort of relation to Robert Kurtzman?
It didn't appear that they were married, so I think brother and sister potentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, Robert Kurtzman was founder with Greg Nicotero and Howard Berger of the KNB effects group, which worked on a lot of films and, you know, before this and after this. So I think she may have been involved in that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I mean, let us think in, there's 4 people involved in the writing process for this film. And some of the dialogue here, it's something. There's a lot of quotes I've got in my notes here. It's made on a budget of $1 million, which I think went into the final death scene.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find out how much it made. So I don't know if it was straight to video or...
It had a limited theatrical release before debuting on VHS.
Okay.
So I think it wanted to be a theatrical film, but then ended up being pretty much a straight to video sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about the extensive cast.
Yes, in a section we like to call Hey, I Know You.
So starting with Nicole Eggert, who plays Alyssa Lloyd in the lead role. She was in Charles in Charge, Blown Away, Baywatch, The Haunting of Morella, Decoys, Boy Meets World, The Price of Kissing, The Clueless TV show, and more. So I haven't seen her in anything else.
No, she was most famous for Baywatch.
Yeah.
So I think this was after she left Baywatch. So I think this was meant to be in some way her breakout role. I think the idea of, you know, Baywatch and sort of them being known as pretty girls running, I think that was maybe the reason she was cast.
Yeah.
That sort of translation to, you know, action star from Baywatch and the potential that she might be scantily clad whilst doing so.
Yeah.
I think was a selling point because beautiful lady, beautiful, but this performance, that's not the one. It's not good, girls.
No. Neither is the performance by Bruce Abbott as Professor Jack Crowley, of course, star of Reanimator, Bride of Reanimator, Interzone, Tag: The Assassination Game, Bad Dreams, Murder, She Wrote, Summer Heat, and more. He definitely. What do you think he brought to his pet lunch?
Ham sandwiches.
He is
a fucking
serving
roast.
up a carbonara for everyone on set, and he is bringing all of that ham.
Yes.
I mean, but there's another actor coming up we're going to talk about who does that and does a good job of it. He does not.
No.
Like, he kind of hams it up in Reanimator, let's face it, but in a different way that works. Here, it does not work.
No.
I mean, his character doesn't need to ham it up.
No, his character, I suppose it actually makes what is quite a boring character into something a little more interesting. But I don't think the intentions were to ham it up quite so much.
The iconic Heather Langenkamp is here as Gail with Christy Carafus. Christy Carafus, my favourite news reporter. My second favourite news reporter from the 90s. And
what about April O'Neil? She's absolutely giving April O'Neil. She's giving April O'Neil.
Let's make no mistake. This is a superhero film, by the way, a superhero horror film.
Yeah.
Now we obviously scrapped Shitty Superheroes month for a good reason. It was fucking one of the worst months we've ever had.
It was so painful.
It was dreadful. we should have absolutely discussed this during that month. would have been a nice little break from the shit we had to discuss. But yeah, Heather Langenkamp, of course. If you listen to this podcast, I'm sure you know, star of Nightmare on Elm Street, 3, Dream Warriors, and New Nightmare. Just the 10 of Us, The Midnight Club recently, Tonya and Nancy, The Inside Story, and more.
Yeah, so obviously Heather Langenkamp's husband is a very successful Oscar-winning special effects guy. What's the word I'm looking for? Artist.
Yeah.
Makeup artist. And Robert Kurtzman had worked on New Nightmare, so I think he just kind of said, "I've got a role for you, Heather." It won't take long. It'll take you a couple of days. Are you free? After New Nightmare. But yeah, Kurtzman worked with Heather Langenkamp's husband on Men in Black, I think, as well. So I think definitely it's a friend of a friend situation, or you know, people knowing each other within the business. And I'm very thankful for it because I loved her in that performance.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's good.
The biggest scene stealer of the film, and someone who I fully believe gave a very intentionally camp and hammy performance, is Susan Tyrrell as Mayor Eleanor Grimbaum. Star of Crybaby, Andy Warhol's Bad, Forbidden Zone, Fat City, Butcher Baker, Nightmare Maker, Angel, Flesh and Blood, and lots more.
Yeah, Oscar nominee for Fat City. Just a legend, a queen. She's a queen of cult cinema. She is a legend. I love her, and she's never disappointed.
She was nominated for an Oscar. That's so random.
She was, yeah, quite early on. Fat City, I think, was early 70s. But yeah, I mean, just really just wonderful. I love everything I've ever seen her in. She's just given the most incredible performances. Like, really, so good.
Yeah,
love her.
Of course, Tom Savini's here.
Yeah,
as Roland.
Quiet performance.
You know, listen to this podcast, you will know Tom Savini is a horror legend in the makeup department, special effects, but also star of From Dusk Till Dawn, Martin, Dawn of the Dead, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Night Riders, Maniac, Zack and Miri Make a Porno, and lots more.
Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
There we go. He's my favourite of his roles.
Finally, Jack Nance plays Father Mackenzie, star of Eraserhead, Blue Velvet, Dune, Wild at Heart, Twin Peaks, Meatballs 4, Whore, the Blob remake, and many more, including Old Fashioned Spankings with Jack Nance.
So this is post Old Fashioned Spankings as well.
He looked like he was ready to give some old fashioned spankings.
Yeah. He looked like he was ready. Yeah, obviously another legend.
But again, you know, I've narrowed that down. This cast goes on forever.
Yeah, we've got cameos from Sarah Douglas, who was in Superman 1 and 2. Joseph Pilato, who's in Day of the Dead. Andros Jones, who was in Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Dream Master. Is he the Swish Swish fish guy?
Yeah, I think so.
And also Richard Grieco. Now, I've never seen anything that he was in, but when I've been doing my research about erotic TV thrillers from the 90s, he pops up a lot, I think.
When you've been doing your research about erotic thrillers.
You know I'm starting an erotic thriller Friday. And he was in quite a few of them, so yeah. Also, seen his face again.
Also, Derek Mears, who would go on to play Jason Voorhees in the Friday the 13th remake. Reggie Bannister from the Phantasm franchise. And Bruce Campbell.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we'll get to his very small role.
Yeah. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk about our feature presentation.
If the war on crime is to be won, a lady cop must be reborn.
I can offer you a second chance. Do you want that chance?
And a new era of law enforcement must begin. Hell has no fury like a woman transformed. And the only angel will be a cop who's part lady, part machine, and the ultimate blonde bombshell, The Demolitionist, starring Nicole Eggert and Richard Grieco.
Yeah, so we start with Jack Nance as Father Mackenzie. He's telling a couple of criminals to repent their sins before their imminent execution. The two criminals are Mad Dog Byrne and his brother Little Henry Byrne. But they aren't so repentant, though. They're choosing to instead watch an old kaiju movie on the TV and read Fangoria magazines.
Yeah.
Including a Fangoria magazine featuring Heather Langenkamp on the cover.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of Heather Langenkamp, she stars as Christy Carruthers, and she's on the TV reporting the news, spilling the tea, and helping us with the plot of the
she
film.
describes the entire plot.
So she's like, girls, apparently these two lads are on death row for a mall robbery and a massacre of 6 people.
Yeah.
I don't know what constitutes a massacre, but it's six people that they killed.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, that's
Small
true.
body count.
That's true. And she also tells us that that only Mayor Eleanor Grimbaum can save these two from their execution.
Wow. She says only a phone call from her.
Only a phone call from her.
So naturally,
we cut to a phone call from Mayor Grimbaum, played by the legendary Susan Tyrrell. And she's on the phone, but she's on the phone to a Mr. Lee. And why is she on the phone to Mr. Lee, Gary?
It's not too late, is it? It's Grimbaum. Thank God. Add a sesame chicken and a pork rice to that, will you? Fried.
They knew what they were doing.
And
they
oh my God,
knew what they
her
were
facial
doing.
expressions are so fucking camp.
She's her hair she's got a very short bob. She's got very harsh makeup on. She was I think Susan Tyrrell was always quite famous for her quite harsh makeup, particularly in Angel.
Yeah, she's got great wardrobe in there. So many pantsuits.
So many pantsuits. I'm a little confused because Heather, when she's spilling the tea on the TV, she's telling us that they weren't convicted for the massacre itself, but they were convicted on anti-firearm charges. So the whole idea and the whole sort of thing of the movie, and there is no message to the movie, which is a huge thing that differentiates it from Robocop.
Yeah.
Because Robocop had a message. This has no message whatsoever. But the whole idea is that the mayor has created a law banning all firearms.
Yeah.
Completely. So people are getting charged on firearm laws rather than the murders themselves, which I found just a little confusing.
I mean, if that was, if there is any, I hope there isn't an intended message in here, because it kind of comes across as saying if you banned firearms, this is what the state of the world would be in.
Yeah, I was a little concerned that the mayor would be the antagonist, and...
What, because she acted like a pantomime villain?
Yes. But part of the reason she was the antagonist is because she was anti-firearms, and I was like, oh. If that is the intention, it's not clear.
No.
If anything, she's a bit like comic relief, to be fair.
If that's intentional.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, the execution is set to begin in front of a very bored-looking audience of... I don't know, an audience and reporters, but they all look like they'd rather be somewhere else. And the executioner comes along, or the warden comes along and says, once you're cooked, should I serve you with potatoes?
The warden, played by Reggie Bannister.
Yeah, to which Mad Dog replies, don't preheat your oven just yet. Then
a lot happens,
and one of the security guards, played by Tom Savini, turns on the other, kills him, and frees the brothers. and they end up executing the warden and Father Jack Nance instead. They then slaughter the audience, who are now looking a little livelier. Now they're being killed, screaming. But Father Jack Nance has urinated whilst being executed, and the urine causes little Henry Byrne to be electrocuted himself.
Yeah, so much went on in this scene, I completely missed that.
Yeah, yeah. It's just this pool of pee moving towards him, and then he gets a... I'm not sure the science behind it, because I don't know what shoes he was wearing. But, yeah, apparently, according to Google, pee does... I mean, if you pee on an electric fence...
Did you actually research it?
Well, no, if you pee on an electric fence, you get electrocuted. So the science holds up.
I dread to think what your Google search history looks like. Friday night erotic thrillers and can piss kill you if you've been electrocuted.
Also, how to get away with murdering your fiance. Oh, sorry. I meant the Viola Davis TV show.
Yeah. Next, we're treated to some topless dancers dancing outside, surrounded by stereotypical gangs and thugs. Mad Dog shows up, and he said he's happy to see a bunch of drug addicts, degenerates, and whores.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely a leather-clad biker delinquent stereotype. He blames Mayor Grimbaum for his brother's death, for his brother's death, and he says, "Tonight we're going to rip the tits off that fucking bitch and see her off." I have to say, Mad Dog maybe gets the best dialogue throughout the film.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid.
Undercover cop Alyssa Lloyd is on the scene and is told by Mad Dog that he's going to enjoy breaking her in.
Yeah, so Alyssa Lloyd is played by Nicole Eggert. She catches the eye of Mad Dog and she goes into the bathroom, and we find out that she has some sort of camera in a contact lens, which apparently also has a microphone. You know, I don't know if the science holds up.
Catwoman had it in the Batman last year, so...
That's true. And she decides that the best way to go undercover and to talk to her colleague who's watching via the contact lens is to shout at herself in the bathroom mirror rather loudly before someone else comes in to use the bathroom and she leaves. But it's almost as if the guy was waiting for her to finish in the bathroom. I thought that's quite gentlemanly for these delinquents. Mayor Grimbaum is horrified that Mad Dog managed to escape when she has gun scanners everywhere, even at her gynecologist.
Yeah. She's having this rant to Higgins, the chief of police, whilst she's having a cigarette and someone's doing her makeup for her.
Yes. She finds out that apparently they were plastic guns.
Yeah.
I don't know if the science holds up. But yeah, she's getting ready for a press conference, which involves getting her nose hairs trimmed and her telling her makeup artist to blend more because she's going to be given a press conference and not playing on stage in Othello.
Yeah.
For Shakespeare. Not sure. Not sure what she's getting at, but okay.
She spots two people cleaning her window. She's like, well, this is a strange time to be cleaning windows.
Why are you giving her a Mae West voice?
She's not far off.
Give her Jennifer Tilly. Jennifer Tilly.
No, she's not like Jennifer Tilly.
I know, but
way over the top.
I want to hear it in Jennifer Tilly's voice.
It's a strange time to be cleaning windows. The cleaners break in and shoot most of the people in the room, but lucky enough, Professor Jack Crowley's there to save the day.
Yeah, who has guns and gets told off for having guns, but apparently it's fine that he has guns. So I'm really not sure if there is the message here, what that message is, because I now think that maybe it is a pro-gun message. No, whatever. I'm thinking too much into it, as I usually do. Mad Dog is absolutely fuming when he's told that Mayor Grimbaum is alive, and he suspects a rat. Alyssa tries to charm Mad Dog after his long time away, and also to get more information from him, to which he replies, just go down on me, make it quick.
somehow this...
Seemingly Alyssa's up for doing this, actually.
Yeah, well, she wants him to take her somewhere more private, but he knows that she has a camera in one of her eyes. So he puts a cigarette out on it and rips out one of her earrings.
Yeah, so she's been sussed. Her colleague who she was talking to is apparently in a nearby van.
Like, I mean, really
Like,
nearby.
really close by. I don't know the range on this content. I really don't understand. So the gang find him and then drag him in, and they're forced to play some version of Russian roulette, which her colleague loses, and he ends up shooting himself in the head. Alyssa is then beaten off screen.
Excuse me? She's beaten off?
She's beaten off screen and left on a fence with a message to the mayor left around her neck.
When you say it was off screen, I mean, literally all we see is she's slapped, and then next minute she's tied to a fence.
Yeah.
And then apparently she's in a critical condition. So
when
what?
she's in the hospital, you see like proper cuts on her arm.
Yeah.
It's like really deep cuts. So something's happened off screen. I don't feel like Nicole Eggert agreed to much in this film.
No.
Like, that's the kind of thing you would like. I'm gonna keep comparing it to Robocop because it should be compared to Robocop. Because if you're gonna rip it off, we're gonna make the comparisons. And obviously, that's a very important part of the film. Is, you know, Murphy's death.
Mm.
You know, it's very significant. It's very violent.
Yeah.
It makes you feel a certain kind of way. But, I mean, her colleague was shot in the head.
Yeah, it kind of... At one point, I was like, did they mismarket this? Because when he was taken into hospital and they were like, oh, you know, he's got brain damage, could he survive? So, oh, is he going to become the cop? Like, hardly anything's happened to her. But
Spoiler alert, he survived for a very long
does.
time.
He does.
Like, he could have been the one that they chose. Because
Yeah.
that is some fortitude right there.
Well, Professor Jack comes storming in, and he wants to know how it's looking. And the nurse is like, well, he's doing okay, but it's some serious brain damage. No, not him. I want her. I want to know what she's like. So he honestly, in a bizarre series of events, he storms into the hospital room. He starts shaking Alyssa, who's on her deathbed, literally. And he's just like, you're going to die. You're going to die. Do you want another chance to live? Just tell me. Do you want another chance to live? And then her eyes go wide and she dies. And he's like, I understand.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Then photographers storm in and start taking pictures of her. And she's taken away.
I'm not... I mean... I don't think it would hold up in court as her
No.
agreeing to him doing what he does to her.
I mean, the shock probably killed her of him, like, shaking her around.
So the surgeon in that scene was played by Sarah Douglas. Now, I
Uh-huh.
don't know if she was ever famous enough for that to be a cameo, or that was just her role. Do you know what I mean? Because she was in Superman 1 and 2, but she is, you know, I don't think famous for anything else. I don't think she did much.
It's probably just a role, then.
Maybe.
Alyssa's officially dead, but they bring her back to life, and she's taken to meet Professor Jack, and she's like, "Where am I?" And he's like, "Well, where do you think you are?" And she's like, "Am I dead?" Like, you were. Like, oh my god, give her a straight answer.
Yeah, like, how is she meant to
where do you
know?
think you are? What the fuck?
So she's rocked up into his office, looking like a confused Patsy Kensit in a wheelchair. She understandably gets very angry when he won't give her a straight answer. So he then stabs her in the hand, and it heals straight away.
The special effects, considering who this is made by, the special effects in this scene is the fucking
Low
rough.
budget. It is low budget though, isn't it? He informs her that despite her assuming dying meant that she had retired from duty, her body belongs to the city because she died on the job. Lovely.
Yeah, he tells her that her partner died. He said there's nothing they could have done for him. He's definitely not dead.
I think he said brain dead. I think
okay.
we may have misheard.
Well,
and
she's not too bothered
brain
either way.
dead.
She doesn't really care.
No.
He explains that he's in charge of the Lazarus Project, and she's like, "What the hell is that?" And he's like, "At the moment, you." And, oh my god, just give her a fucking answer.
I'd be fucking fuming.
Mad Dog meets with Higgins in a church, and it's revealed they're working together.
Yeah, bit of a pointless scene, really. Why is he dressed as a? He just. This is the first time that he dresses up as like different uh occupations
Blend in certain
to
places.
blend into certain places. But yeah, okay.
Yeah,
It's camp.
it
It's
is
camp.
camp.
He's dressed as a priest.
Um,
He's got a Rottweiler as well for some reason.
yeah. Well, they threaten Higgins into being their new partner. It's like, well, I mean, isn't he already working with
I thought
you?
he already was. Yeah, I did think that.
Alyssa gets a horror cult trash of a favourite, a lovely training montage, but it's not set to any certain music. Instead, it's set to Jack giving a narration about exactly what's happening.
Yes. Yeah, it's a montage of Alyssa working out, flipping repeatedly. I'm assuming it's maybe a body double. It wasn't clearly Nicole Eggert. You think if she could do
No.
that, she'd be quite proud of it and want
Yeah.
to make it clear. So I think it's a double in a wig, and she's also practicing some sort of combat in a white vest with no bra.
Yeah.
And this is what I came to see. I want this camp montage.
Yeah.
I want, a beautiful woman kicking ass.
Yeah. She's given a bunch of fancy high-tech weapons. And Jack brings Grimbaum to his lab to show off Alyssa. And she's very impressed. She's like, I'm impressed. It's got media savvy. I think she's got this very Joan of Arc thing. And then Alyssa starts jolting around like she's having some sort of dream while she's on the high-tech chair. And Grimbaum just looks at her, she's like, what's wrong with it?
Do you think there's some, like, religious allegories here?
No, I don't think there's any allegories.
But when
here.
she's beaten and she's on the fence, it's almost as if it looks like she's been crucified.
I think that's entirely by coincidence.
The word Lazarus, or the name Lazarus, means God has helped. She's referred to as like a Joan of Arc thing. Like she's got a Joan of Arc thing going on. Which is obviously very religious. And then when she's in the next scene, she has visions of Mad Dog and his and his gang, plus the devil. And like demon-like creatures, and they're looking deformed. They're surrounded by flames.
Yeah, this made no sense as to why she was having these visions.
And then she looks out the window in deep contemplation. And if no one follows me on Spotify, but if you did, you'd realize that I love an angsty 90s female playlist. And this is definitely giving me. I mean, the hair's giving me Natalie Imbruglia.
It
blonde.
is, yeah.
It's giving me angsty 90s female. I'm absolutely living for it. I wish there was like a Lisa Loeb song or a Liz Phair song to accompany this scene. It's like, how dare you? This such a low budget. I needed
if it was a few
angsty anthem for this scene.
I mean, if it was 10 years later, it could have been Warwick Avenue by Duffy.
It could have. It wasn't raining. Yeah, and I think there's a few religious imagery here, and there's a lot of things not explained.
Yeah,
and this is certainly one of them. It's not explained, the whole demon thing. The idea is that she has to rejuvenate.
Yeah.
So she is technically dead, but the science is allowing her to stay alive and become stronger in the way a sort of a dialysis works. So it's I think replacing the blood in her body. So she has to sit on this chair with these giant needles and that poke into her and it rejuvenates her. And if she doesn't, then she will rot like a corpse. So she initially, after this demon nightmare that she has and deep contemplation, she refuses to carry on, and Crowley tells her that she will literally rot if she doesn't go through the procedure each day. She then checks her status on the computer and unsurprisingly is told that she's dead. She then, in... no spoilers. Oh, no, it's not true. In one of my favourite pieces of dialogue, she says to Crowley, I wonder if anyone put white roses on my grave. I love white roses. Does it say that on your file? What would it feel like to kiss something that's dead? And he goes, I wouldn't know, and walks off. I don't know.
I thought it was leading to a love story.
It needed a love story. I really wanted a camp love story where she's
an
dead.
independent woman.
Although I suppose he already did that in Reanimated, didn't he?
She's an independent woman. She didn't need no man.
No, apparently not. Which leads to another bit later on, which I'll bring up.
Well, she really doesn't need a man because she visits her partner, who is still alive, and just cuts off his life supply. Just murders him.
It does. And that's after another demon vision that she has. And she kisses him on the lips and then switches his life support off, and that's him gone.
Yeah.
I don't get this is one thing that annoyed me because I need to understand every single part of the film. I'm not sure what emotional status they're trying to convey with her here. Like, she's like, oh, I don't want to do it. Like, why don't you want to do it? Like, what if it's not the... I know you're having these visions, but we don't know what they mean. So why do you not want to do it? Like, what is her emotional sort of status here? And then she goes for a reflective walk, and there's wanted posters, isn't there, for Mad Dog? Is it $1 million?
Yeah, the
set
design
budget
here is
awful. It's really bad. It's like
The Room.
It's like The Room, but also like Smelly Cat music video from Friends, like in the back alley. And there's posters for the Mayor Grimbaum and stuff, and yeah. She's starting to... Well, she starts to rot on this walk, and she's returning to the lab, and she kind of looks like a deadite in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's head to toe in Adidas.
Mm-hmm.
Sponsorship, I'm assuming. And she's wearing like a crop top, so her midriff is on show, and her arms are on show.
Yeah.
And her face is rotting. But the rest of us looking all right. Like her arms aren't rotting, and her belly button's not rotting, is it? Yeah. So she's. I'm assuming now she's like, yeah, it's fine. I'm coming back now.
Well, she's like, help me, and fucking Jack's like, why? You have no one to live for. What's the use?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And she's like, no, help me. So now she becomes Lady Robocop.
Within seconds.
Within seconds.
Got a sexy montage where she's putting a suit on.
Yeah, she's giving us a little bit of the TNA that maybe we were promised. And she's saucily putting a costume on. And the mask only actually covers her mouth so that we can see she has her hair done. I mean, she could be rotting. Mm-hmm. She could have the shit kicked out of her. She could be crucified on a fence. That hair is still intact.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, it's not just a bit of mascara. I mean, that eyeliner, it's snatched.
Yeah.
She's actually got what a lot of the sort of makeup TikTokers and YouTubers do now, with that proper, like, eyeliner going up sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Her face is beat for the gods at all times, and so she only wears a mask over her mouth. I'm just getting flashbacks to Valentina. Take that finger off your face.
Oh, that is what it's giving.
It is. It is what it's giving.
Also, this is 50 minutes into the film, and we only just get her in costume now.
This is the costume is. I know that the idea is that, you know, it's, you don't want, you have somewhat a beauty like Nicole Eggert, and you aren't going to cover her face. So you just put a mask over the mouth, but it's kind of like, well, what's the point? Like, really, if you've got the technology to have a contact lens that does the same thing, why have the mask over her mouth?
Yeah.
And also, I'm just going to make it very clear, another comparison to Robocop. What's this? Who plays Robocop? Remind me.
Peter Weller.
Peter Weller conveys more emotion, and it is not meant to necessarily, but he conveys more character in that huge costume in Robocop then Nicole Eggert manages to, with a mask, with like 3/4 of her face
Yeah.
uncovered. No offense, I'm sorry, but it's true.
Well, yeah, she's suited and booted. She finds
She's
some
suited and
henchmen.
booted.
One of the guys drops what looks like a fridge, and the main guy is like, "Hey, that's coming out of your asses. Now pick it up, you ugly fucks."
So this is Boxer. I don't know why he's called Boxer. I'm assuming he is a boxer, but we don't see him box at any point. And he's played by Joseph Pilato, who, if you remember from Day of the Dead, can give a great camp performance. Because I think he's camp. I mean, it's so over the top. His sort of acting as villains, that it comes off as camp. He's, for some reason, I'm assuming, threatening someone to steal his fridges. I'm assuming. And this guy has his trousers down by his ankles. I don't stop him from running away, I'm assuming. So Alyssa turns up.
Does a camp flip?
She does. Boxer tries to... He finds a bike. It's very confusing. In some sort of... What are they called?
Shipment container.
Shipment container. He finds a bike in there, so she throws a grenade into it. It explodes, but doesn't kill him. That's what I get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on.
She makes a lot of things explode in this film, just so she could walk away from slow motion.
So it looks good in a trailer. I don't know what's going on, but Joseph Pilato fully commits, and Alyssa is given flips and kicks, and she starts fighting with a pole as well. It's giving Mortal Kombat, definitely. And he's survived this explosion somehow, and she's ready to finish him off, and she says, "What's the matter, Boxer? Never seen a ballerina with balls before?" Which is amazing dialogue. But at what point was she a ballerina? Oh, could you imagine? Picture it. The end of Suspiria. Jessica Harper turns to the witches and says, "What's the matter? Never seen a ballerina with balls before?" Giving Krabby Cook.
What I don't get is, how does he know that it's Alyssa? Like, he's like, "Oh my god, how is it you?"
Yeah.
It's like, okay, she's wearing a fucking mask. You wouldn't kill a boxer, would you?
Yeah, but she can. And
yeah,
she does.
she shoots him. She's like, in a heartbeat.
But spoiler alert: for the rest of the film, no one else in Mad Dog's gang recognizes her.
No.
Apart from Boxer, everyone else does not recognize her. We then get a nice little montage of Alyssa riding a bike. She's shooting stuff randomly, and we get some old-fashioned... I mean, this is the superhero part, isn't it?
Yeah.
Newspaper clippings about the fight against crime by the Demolitionist, which is the name she's been given.
Also, they refer to her as Demo for short.
Demo for short.
That is high camp. Her fucking running around doing flips and tricks being called Demo. Are you fucking serious?
What is she demolishing, by the way? I don't... The Demolitionist is a great title. It's a great title for a film. Great title for a superhero. You know, it's great. But in this context, I'm not sure
I don't know what
demolishing.
Bad guys, I suppose.
I mean, I wished it was the patriarchy, but it's not really. But it sounds good, so let's keep it. Also, during this montage, did you notice how the soundtrack was desperately trying to be Robocop?
Yeah, of course.
Desperately trying to go full Robocop. It was like, oh no, can't do it. I'm assuming they were very fearful of a copyright claim, so they got a little hint of it. What was it? Is it Cruel Jaws?
Yeah, Star Wars.
That did a little bit of the Star Wars and then had to stop.
The press show up at Grimbum's office for a conference about Demo. Christy leads them and wants to know who the Demolitionist is. She wants to know who she is. She doesn't really find out much, but then gives a really great news report. She's like, so, the question remains. Who is the woman behind the mask of Metro City's crime-fighting phantom? Who is the demolitionist? Viewers are encouraged to dial in their suggestions at 1-900-555-DEMO. Am I really shiny?
Yeah. Can I just say, Heather Langenkamp looks beautiful.
She does.
In this film. She really does. And it's the same for New Nightmare as well. I think she just looks absolutely gorgeous. She's serving.
Yeah.
She serves in both films. She doesn't serve in A Nightmare on Elm Street because that's the point.
Excuse me.
She doesn't. It's not serving.
Dream
looks.
Warriors.
She's a goofy high school.
Dream Warriors. She is serving cunt.
She serves. But I think in these two films, she really looks fantastic. And when we finally watch her play Nancy Kerrigan, I'm sure she'll do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's giving us great news reports, and I was just living for every second of her screen time. Higgins is having a piss at the City Hall when Mad Dog shows up. Disguised as press this time around.
Well, he's not really disguised as press.
No, he just has a press badge.
He just has a press badge. So it's like, there's $1 million sort of bounty on him. And his disguise is, I'm going to put a press badge on and walk around fucking City Hall. Really, Queen?
He lights up a cigarette in the bathroom and stares down at Higgins' cock. He's like, hey, you call that a dick? It looks like one, but only smaller. I was in disbelief that someone sat in a room and wrote, you call that a dick, as dialogue for this film. I thought that was okay. It is amazing. Like, seriously, why is this guy given the best lines of dialogue in this
He
script?
really is. Well, they always say the villain's the best part. I mean, I watch wrestling, and the villain is always the best part.
You're gonna say Real Housewives?
The best dialogue. Wow, it's true for Real Housewives too. The villain is always the best part.
Leah is not the best part of Girls Ultimate
she's
Girls
not
Trip.
she's not a villain. It's just I don't know what she is, but she's not the villain. I think Giselle's the villain. Pot stirrer. Anyway, let's not get into that.
Mad Dog
We could be here for hours talking about that.
Mad Dog is fuming about Demo and wants the plug pulled on her. Higgins suggests that Mad Dog does it because he's the muscle, but Mad Dog threatens to shoot him in the dick if he doesn't give him some guns.
Yeah, a bit obsessed with his penis.
He is.
Digmatized, I think is the word.
Yes.
Why wouldn't Higgins know that Alyssa is the demolitionist?
Yeah. He probably should know that.
He should probably know that. He's the chief of police, so he'd just turn around and say, "Oh, it's Alyssa, that woman you killed."
Yeah.
And it's not really a plot point, no one knowing it's Alyssa, really. But it is kind of, it raises a lot of questions. And again, I ask the question, why did Boxer know, but no one else know that this is, I mean, how do they know it was a woman if it hasn't been, I'm just...
Well, I mean...
But he's...
her breasts are very much on show.
Yeah, so someone's seen her.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is that Mad Dog's gang has been... she's... I don't think she's killing them all. Because, if she's killing everyone she comes into contact with, who's saying this woman's going around... Well, who is the demolitionist?
I mean, Mad Dog's gang are kind of like the bad guys in the John Wick films. They just respawn out of nowhere.
Do, yeah.
Like, his gang never gets any smaller, no matter how many of them are killed.
It's true. But I don't see how they know that the demolitionist is a woman, but they can't figure out that it's Alyssa. Because there's a lot of evidence to suggest that they probably should know it's Alyssa.
Well, as we see in this next scene, she's going around doing random acts of kindness. So maybe one of the victims spotted.
Yes.
So some thugs literally pick up a woman who had been clothes shopping late at night. They take her into an alleyway. Demo saves her, and we see this all in shadow form for some reason. can't actually show it. In a bizarre series of events, she walks away from the woman, just leaves her there,
Yeah.
goes to a shop for wedding dresses, and shoots a mannequin wearing a wedding dress.
Yes. So this is for me the most disappointing scene of the film, because number one, why is this in shadow on the wall?
And
Like, how annoying. Number two, if you're gonna rip off Robocop, shoot someone in the fucking
exactly.
dick. Iconic scene from Robocop. Just copy it. Just copy it. Have her shoot someone in the dick. She beats them up and then just kind of leaves them there.
Yeah.
She doesn't actually kill anyone.
No.
So they're gonna wake. If they wake up before the woman, the poor woman's back in the same position. She then has some sort of memory of. I think I can't remember exactly what she says, but it's her talking about getting married. And that's why she's like, oh, and I'm dead. I'm never going to get married. And shoots the wedding dress.
Yeah.
This never brought up again.
No.
Never brought up again. Never dealt with. Just, what was the point?
Well, I mean, after she goes back to Jack and she has a rant at him about his fake roses and just goes on about how unfair life is, but that's it. That's as far as it goes.
Yeah, doesn't talk anything about when she had marriage plans. We don't get any of, again, in Robocop, you get the flashbacks to his memories of his wife. We don't get any of that. It's literally just tacked on. It's literally, she shoots a wedding dress in a window.
Yeah.
Because she remembers planning a wedding. Who to? We have no idea. We were told at the beginning that she had no next of kin, which was why she was a good candidate for the Lazarus program. She had no significant other. So this whole wedding thing, I got no fucking clue.
No. Yeah, so in Metro City Bank, a bizarre scene...
Just before, sorry, just to go back a little as well, something else that confused me. When Alyssa and Crowley, they're arguing over the fake flowers or whatnot, he says, oh, you've got to be able to control your anger. And I'm like, why has she not been able to control it, apart from the wedding dress? Which I'm assuming nobody knows about. How has she not been able to control her anger? I don't... Yeah, okay. It's kind of, it's that thing where they're like forcing a character development, and it's like, oh, don't just don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. You gotta show me. I need a bit more.
Yeah. So in Metro City Bank, a man is in a bizarre series of events. A man is suggestively licking a lollipop while staring at a child.
Why?
I mean, they're trying to make it look like every person in Metro City is a bad person.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because Mad Dog and his men walk in and shoot the nonce down.
Shoot, like, this is your bad guy. Like, why? Because you're a bit like, yeah, good on you, mate. You're like, oh, wait, no,
surely
you're the bad guy.
Demo should be coming.
Demo should have done that. Are we referring to her as Demo?
Of course.
Okay, I've got it down as Alyssa.
The police and Demo show up to the scene, and Higgins orders Demo to stand down, but she's not having it. And she's like, how many people are in there? And he's like, 5, maybe 6, including Mad Dog. So why are you saying it like that?
Mad Dog.
Demo rides into the station.
Oh, she's like, fuck this.
Takes down all of the henchmen except Mad Dog. He grabs the child from earlier, puts a gun to her head. He's like, oh, it's okay, isn't it? The big bad bitch in black doesn't want to hurt us. He puts 2 explosives in her hands and leaves. So the child looks sad at Demo, and you think, oh, okay, Demo's going to take the bombs out of her hand, save the day. Nope. She just fucking leaves. Leaves the little girl standing there with 2 bombs in her fucking hands.
And I have to say, this girl, the awkward kind of look that she gives the CCTV camera, which comes back later on as well, is so stupid. It's actually laughable. how awkward the acting is.
Yeah, the police manage to save the girl and Mad Dog gets away. Alyssa goes home and she tries slitting her own wrist, but she just keeps healing and we have to keep seeing that special effect again and again and
Me
again.
too, yeah.
She's fuming because they're leaving the little girl to die so she could go after Mad Dog and she blames Jack for it entirely.
She says, I'm just a killing machine.
I mean, she's been very much in control of herself before this point, so I don't know where this is coming
We
from.
don't have no idea where this is coming from. She actually didn't show that much hatred towards Mad Dog, really.
No.
Like, at the beginning, she still realized, she knew that Mad Dog killed her.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't actually that angry. She wanted to give up
Yeah.
at the beginning, so I really don't understand where this energy's come from.
Yeah, Higgins calls Christy.
But Crowley tells Alyssa that it's her own fault as well. It's like, it's your fault. This is nothing to do with what I'm doing. It's nothing to do with the science. Science holds up. This is you. This is your own personal shit. Don't get me involved. And I'm like, okay, I really don't want a love story between these two now. I want her to kill him.
Well, Higgins calls Christy and gives her insider information on what happened in the bank with the child. So she wastes no time, our Heather Langenkamp. She immediately reports on it and broadcasts the CCTV footage. Grimball is fuming and he's like, Jack's like, you pulled a plug on her and it's just as good as murdering her. She's like, no, it isn't, Jack. She's already dead.
Oh my god, that delivery. Iconic. What a delivery of that line. So good. She also says, you call leaving an innocent girl to die a setback? Registered voters hate that. Registered voters, that's camp. She's so good. I do wish she was in the film more. She's so good. And also, how quickly did Christy spill that tea? Like,
I know,
you
wouldn't immediately. She wastes no
spill
time.
that tea. You wouldn't trust her with a secret, would you?
Higgins calls Demo to a car park somewhere, and she shows up, and she's like, shouldn't you be eating donuts somewhere? And he's like, shouldn't you be dead? Oh, so he knows it's her.
Yeah.
She's cornered by cops, manages to fight him off, and then leaves. Like, she just leaves Higgins there. She doesn't try arresting him or...
You did that a little bit of a disservice, I have to say. Did you miss the bit where she was awkwardly electrocuted?
Oh yeah, she was awkwardly electrocuted as well.
Okay, I don't want to lay into too much, but that awkward electrocution acting that Nicole Eggert was doing, my lord. Just... and then just walks away. So she knows Higgins is in on it now. But they act as if she already did know.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't really a big reveal because she's cunty to him from the get-go.
Yeah.
And he's shitty to her. And it's like, well, when was the cat let out the bag with this one? How does, is he... So he knows it's Alyssa, but didn't tell Mad Dog that it was Alyssa. Alyssa seemingly knows that Higgins is in on it.
Yeah.
But she hasn't told anyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Jack tells Alyssa that they've pulled the plug, and she's like, okay, I'm going to take care of unfinished business. And
she's like, how long have I got?
Whilst...
And then seemingly he has this random leftover stuff.
Yeah.
And just sort of... I thought the whole idea was that it took out and then put back in. But he just kind of pokes her with something and she's rejuvenated slightly. Which gives her a little more time.
Yeah. While she's on her way to take care of unfinished business, there's another news report on where... and I assume it's Heather again. And she's like, in other news, President Bono calls yesterday's attack on the White House sad. Really, really sad.
Yeah, so Alyssa's... I thought she was at some sort of club, but it's a hotel.
Yeah.
So she's at the hotel. Christy's reporting in the background. And she gets into the elevator with two of Mad Dog's goons. And one of them says, ain't you the instant hard-on? And she kills them in the elevator. And she goes up to whatever floor Mad Dog... They seem to be doing some sort of deal. I think it's to kill the mayor, Mayor Grimbaum. And she foils the deal going on between a large man and a man with an eye patch after she pretends to be room service. So there's a knock at the door, and they do that thing where they all grab guns and like, who the fuck is it? And she's like, room service. And the guy with the eye patch goes, you fat bastard, we're in the middle of a deal. To which the guy replies, you one-eyed bitch, I didn't order it. You one-eyed bitch, I didn't order anything. I swear I didn't. Now that's Big Frank, who's played by Andre Rosie Brown. And it's a quintessential, hey, I know you, because it was bugging me. It was bothering me for a long time. And he was in 2 episodes of The Golden Girls, including the episode where he plays Michael Jackson's bodyguards. When Michael Jackson buys a jacket with tickets in. One of my favourite episodes, actually. Brother, can you spare a dime?
Yeah. They
That's what I mean. That's what you tune in for, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Random facts about
random
actors who played Michael Jackson's bodyguard in an episode of The Golden Girls.
They start shooting the door, but she's not there. She bursts through the wall and shoots everyone. The one-eyed bitch gets away, and Demo shoots him in the ass and chases him on her motorbike whilst blowing up random shit behind her for more dramatic effect.
Yeah, this is definitely made for a trailer or the TV spot moment. It's like completely pointless explosion, but it happens and it looks cool and it's going to sell the film, so we're going to keep it in.
Mad Dog's managed to get his entire gang back together despite Mess from being murdered.
Yeah, apparently. Because Higgins is
raffle.
selling firearms to Mad Dog and his gang before a raffle takes place. And the winner of the raffle is entitled to kill Higgins. And the winner of that raffle is a recognisable face.
Yeah.
It's Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell with a cigar and a bandana on his head. And the prize is to kill Higgins, and he loads a gun and shoots him.
He does. Yeah, like that. Simple as that.
Yeah.
As simple as that. That's done.
Uh-huh.
Like, why didn't we just have Alyssa do that?
I know.
Like, if you're just going to kill him off in the next scene he's in, have Alyssa do it. The one-eyed bitch returns to Mad Dog and Co. with a bullet in his ass, like Gary said. They take it out to much hilarity, and they realise it's a tracker. Alyssa's bike appears, and everyone starts shooting at it before it explodes, killing the one-eyed bitch, even though he was quite a way away from it. Maybe the stunt double wasn't available on that day. And Alyssa drops from the rafters.
She does. She kills everyone, including Roland, Tom Savini's Roland, and Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, where did she get her outfit from, by the way?
Who cares? It's a serve.
But she turned up at the hotel in her casual clothes.
Yeah, it just appeared.
It just appeared.
Yeah.
It's that superhero thing, isn't it? Where she just spun around in a phone booth, and it happened.
Tom Savini's character was originally intended to have a much different death. They actually practiced for weeks before filming. Started for a scene using swords. Storyboards were created, which showed Savini's character losing his sword and about to be shot. He reaches for one of the Demolitionist's guns that she dropped, and it explodes, killing him as it's designed for her handprint only.
Ooh.
But because of time and funds, it was scrapped, and he's just shot along with everyone else.
Oh. That's a shame for Tom Savini. I'm sure when he gets a death scene in a film, he likes it to be as big as possible. Well, really, because he's obviously he's spent his whole career giving other people grand death scenes. Save some for himself.
The last man standing is, of course, Mad Dog. As she tells him, he's under arrest for murder. And the
murder of Alyssa Lloyd.
So he finally realises it's her.
And tells her that she looks like shit. He asks her what her secret is. And She doesn't tell him. Sorry. I realised during this scene.
Alyssa's secret.
Alyssa's
Oh, for fuck's
secret. Why? It's Alyssa's secret. That's camp. And she doesn't tell him. Much like Alyssa Edwards in season 5 of Drag Race, she doesn't actually explain what her secret is. Instead, she shoots him with the rejuvenation stuff that apparently she had on hand. I don't know where she's keeping all this, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if, this suit has pockets. It doesn't look like it's got pockets, but she's keeping it somewhere. And she shoots him with the rejuvenation serum or whatever, and his fucking face melts.
Yeah. Well, no, his entire body melts.
But we see his face
This
melt.
is where the entire budget went.
Pretty much. This is the best effect of the film.
Yeah.
This was the Blu-ray that we own. Makes a big song and dance about the film being uncut.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what was cut. I'm assuming if any scene was cut, it was this, because it's a really great effect.
Yeah.
It's a satisfying death scene for our main antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
A nice melty death scene.
Yeah.
Crowley turns up and tells Alyssa that he can save her or let her go, and she asks to be let go.
So whatever you decide, I understand.
And she dies in his arms. Which would have meant more if they'd had a better relationship during the film.
Grimbaum is in an orange pantsuit in a lift with Jack. And she's like, 99th floor! Jack, this is a proud moment for all of us. And she takes him to his new fancy office with all his equipment in there and says it's a pity that Alyssa didn't make it. And he looks down at a white rose. And then Alyssa is in what I could only assume is Hal. He's in a rusty looking room, which kind of looks like Hal from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. But there's white roses in there. And then the film ends.
No, she puts white roses on her own gravestone. That's where she is a what would you call it? Oh, what's it called? What's the place that what's that film with the ball that goes round and
The morgue.
Yeah, morgue. It's the morgue, isn't it?
Why has it got orange lighting?
No, what's the film? What's the film?
Phantasm.
It's Phantasm.
Yeah.
How embarrassing that I forgot Phantasm. But that takes place in
A morgue.
Is it called a morgue? Or is it like
Mortuary is something.
Yeah, like what's that really boring film with Meg Tillion? One Dark Night.
One Dark Night, yeah.
Yeah, it's there.
But then
But
why?
she's been buried. She puts white
why-
roses on her own grave.
Okay, but then why does it look like it's surrounded by flames? Why is it got an orange lighting, like it's in Hal?
Oh, I don't know.
I feel like that's her in Hal.
Oh.
I think that's what they were going for.
Well, do you know what I think they were going for? This might get a sequel.
Wow.
So we're going to show her at the end.
Yeah, and then we get Demolitionist by Paul Bluebar playing over the end credits. Because if you're going to do a B movie, gotta have a heavy metal song at the end of it.
You really do. And that's the Demolitionist.
It is. What I'd like to know what people think of that ending, because it's kind of...
It doesn't make any sense.
No,
I think they just wanted to show her so they could set up for maybe a sequel if it did well.
Yeah, the Demolitionist goes to hell.
Demolitionist 2.
But yeah, no, it's
Demolitioner.
an absolute fun time had by all, intentional or not.
Yeah. To me, this is what a B movie should be.
Yeah.
This is B movie greatness.
Mhm.
Cheap, entertaining, camp. Had a great cast of character actors and cameos from cult favourites. It's cheesy. Yeah, it's a total rip-off of many films, most notably Robocop. Robocop is one of my favourite films, so if you're going to rip anything off, at least rip off one of my favourite films. I am disappointed that she didn't shoot anyone in the dick. But, you can't win them all. I was a little confused by how much of this film happened at night. I don't know if it's just cheaper filming at night. And also, did you notice there were so many weird camera angles, like really low, tilted camera angles for
so
no
the camera work
reason?
was terrible. Yeah, the camera work and the sound design wasn't great.
But I mean, yeah, obviously this isn't a masterpiece. It's not going to win any Oscars. It's not, but it's a fucking entertaining hour and a half. It is just what a B movie should be.
Yeah.
It's great. And I'd also like to put my name forward for President of the Susan Tyrrell fan club. I mean, she has been so consistent for every film I've ever seen her in. She's a highlight in this film. Her delivery is second to none.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, it's a great film. It is so enjoyable.
It is. Should we get to the awards?
Yes, please.
The biggest queen.
I put Mayor Grimbaum.
I did too.
It's joint Mayor Grimbaum and Susan Tyrrell.
Same thing.
But no, but obviously the character and the actress.
Yes.
Yeah, because I don't think it would have worked with anyone else.
No. Biggest gasp. I have Demo leaving a child with bombs in her hand in the
That is
back.
quite, yeah. Oh, I wish I would have thought that. That's true. I just put the face smell or the body melt at the end. Because I think it had been so bloodless before that point, really.
Best dialogue. I mean, a lot of contenders for this.
Too many.
But I'm going to have to go with, you call that a dick?
I put, what's the matter, boxer? Never seen a ballerina with balls before.
And that's camp. I give it to every second of Mayor Grimbaum and Christy Caruthers screen time.
Yeah, I did. I gave it to the training montage or Christy, Queen Christy.
Ratings. Like I said, I don't know what the attention's worth for this film, so I went straight down the middle and gave it 5 one-eyed bitches out of 10.
I gave it 6 pointless wedding backstories out of 10.
And masterpiece, trash to piece, trash or basic. I'm gonna go with trash to piece.
Yeah, I'd say trash to piece. I mean, it is trashy, really.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
By design, still works. Yeah, trash to piece.
It is available on video on demand, or you can get we have got the German import on Blu-ray, DVD. And if you enjoyed this, I'm gonna go with the basic and say check out Robocop.
Obviously, I think everyone should check out Robocop. And I put, if you enjoyed this, check out Barbed Wire.
This is very similar.
Another Baywatch star doing a more adult-orientated film. It's very similar in many ways. Technically a worse film, but I think ups the camp trash to pieces.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd recommend Barbed Wire.
Yes. Talk to us about the Demolitionist on social media. Please tell us what's going on with that ending. We are Horrorcore Trash over on Facebook and Instagram. Horrorcore Trash on Twitter. I'm Gaz92 on Letterboxd. Gaz205 on Instagram.
I'm
GazCruise92 on Twitter. Wow, someone didn't care about my Twitter.
Okay, I've got a vendetta against Elon Musk. I'm Chris Barker823 on Instagram and Letterboxd.
And if you haven't yet, get your tickets and passes for Gasp Horror Festival if you're in Manchester on the 17th and 18th of June. We are Gasp Horror Fest across social media. You can find all details on there. Give us a review and subscribe on iTunes, like and follow on everything else. Give us a rating on Spotify. We'll be back on Friday with our 250th episode, where we are discussing none other than George Romero's The Crazies and its very popular 2010 remake.
Yes. Yeah, 2 good films.
And
Excited.
then to once we're in the 250s, you've got to up that game, up the ante, make it bigger and better. That's why for episode 251, we will be discussing Josie and the Pussycats.
Yes.
It's been a long time coming.
It has. And I don't know where that's going to fall.
No.
Trash, cool, or other? Who knows?
Horror.
Oh, it could be. Could be.
Tara Reid's acting, But yes, we'll be back same time, same place on Friday.
Bye.